and information are not always aligned. In between them is trust.
3 weeks before the regional council meeting, the feared Agent Caillou and his special group, the Suron, dismantle a South region stronghold with ease. This is a peace treaty breach to be addressed by the council later. The day of the regional meeting, Shiao, Dantes, and all their friends prepare for a morning spa exercise. Not knowing General Sean Aru has set up the spa to see Shiao and Dantes fight in hopes of recruiting them, fought the Northern Army. Dantes, being overconfident, gets embarrassed and hurt in the spar with the legend.
One strike. Remember it.
Shiao, sensing Sean has an ulterior motive, stands against Sean. Sean sees a special power in Shiao, and in a small spurt of fear, accidentally exerts too much power and knocks Shiao out. King, again watching the spa from a distance, infuriated by the whole matter. But Sean reminds him that he agreed to the plan.
Easier.
Sean reflects back on his past and expresses pure fatigue, frustration, and being overwhelmed, always planning, adjusting, and trying to be fearless. Though he is an infinite and more or less can't die naturally, he is truly tired.
Immortality is too heavy.
Sean meets with Shiao and Dantes after their spars and extends an invitation for the Western military. King again and his wife Queen Vonna prepare for the regional meeting.
You make it sound simple. Breathe.
The South comes to the great doors with a parade, full of dancers, music, and excitement. The Western region, remaining faith to the old traditions, marches to the meeting uniformly. With decorum, Sean begins with one of his many plans. He will work to gain the trust of Dantes, recruiting him for a special purpose.
It will be the oldest son of the Northern King.
The monstrous giant Jinth in his allegiance to moreover, the rogue prophets of old, and the southern region terrorizes and destroys a western town 4 weeks before the regional meeting. Prince Arroyo of the western region is furious about the attacks and demands sanctions, trade restrictions, and restitution against the South.
If the treaty is broken in the South, we need a shared answer before they reach.
Prince Agile counters, saying the western region is arrogant and relies too much on tradition, working against progression.
There is one power that will not bow, the Western region. They feast while our people starve, sending spies to choke our trade and blades to our borders. They believe distance and wealth make them untouchable.
Agent Caillou is sick of it all and wants to fight, but Arroyo stops him. Sean takes time to explain to Dantes the corruption and inconsistencies of all the regions, and takes Dantes to the mystical middle region of Dra. The sneak in and hide. Dantes in hurt when he recognizes one of the hooded men in the secret meeting speaking to rogue prophets.
No.
Adonisha and Shiao, not caring about the regional disorder, set the focuses on all the visiting women in the clubs. Specifically southern women, they party hard. Shiao meets up with his girlfriend Anna and tells her about an encounter he and his friends had in a bar primarily occupied by Western soldiers. They get into a scuffle and it looks bad.
Funny?
Nope. Pretty sure your boots did most of the work.
Release him now!
Until a ranked mysterious Western officials defends Shiao and in a flash knocks out one of the head guards. Anna, trying to listen, has other things on her mind and hints at a bigger obstacle. King Agin's mind is preoccupied and stressed, leading to sickness while trying to maintain a healthy countenance. Just when things are calmest, Dantes enters the room. He is enraged and erratic, and fights off guards, then accuses several of the politicians in the room of speaking to rogue prophets, including his father. There is no turning back.
Drown this hall and you call it council. The people in this room were in drawer. You stood upon its walls when the cries rose from the...
The mighty Ixthane feels a shift in the atmosphere, and some people can feel him. The good and faithful prophet Hazel reflects on hundreds of years before the present day and regional meeting, when there were two sets of humans, regular and prophets, set aside only to serve and please the Alpha Omega Creator. Everything was peaceful. Hazel and a wife and many children. A brother-in-law named Luchindor. Luchindor is tired of serving the Alpha Omega and wants to live his own way. He meets on the shores of the mystical Southern Ocean with Amariu, evil one of this world.
My family.
Your kin will be hidden. The child will be guarded.
You swear it?
By the depth and the dark. None shall
And
see
I hold
them.
you to that.
Luchindor is granted great power, influence, and a devious plan that will ensure his power and legacy reigns forever. Luchindor persuades many of the prophets to turn of the nature and seek self.
That's it.
One of the laws of the prophets is that we're to never try to influence regular humans away from the will of the Alpha Omega. But Luchindor denounces his former status, rebels, and declares himself supreme. He asks his sister and Hazel to join him in what he declares is a freedom crusade against an oppressive god. Hazel and his family remain faithful to the Alpha Omega. Luchindor appears to accept this until the next day. Luchindor imposes an unexpected attack in all the prophets and their families and children who didn't side with him. His power has surpassed most of theirs, and he appears to be unbeatable. This destruction even extending to him killing his own sister and his nieces and nephews. Hazel's personality completely changes, and he purely moves in rage. He has a nervous breakdown and appears to only be a shadow of himself. After he is done grieving for years, he bands together the last 100 or so good prophets left against a now supreme Luchindor, who even roars against the Alpha Omega himself. The war, or Profito Maki, is bloody and brutal, lasting years. Hazel, going against his nature, recruits a powerful military family, the Arus in the outer regions, and personally trains their most potent and youngest member, Sean. Sean, being what is known on Ryaleo as infinite bloodline, has limitless power, and though it is believed regular humans cannot kill prophets, he can and does easily at times. Fighting alongside Hazel, they whittle the rogue prophets down to literally about 5 left.
Now, together, Crimson Surge! Radiant Flow!
Then the final showdown between a now older and more powerful and redeemed Hazel, who asked the Alpha Omega for forgiveness and in return was given innumerable power, much greater than Luchindor. Hazel cast down Luchindor and beheaded him as one must do to fully defeat a prophet or infinite. The remaining rogue prophets made a memorial for their fallen comrades and leader Luchindor on an invisible island on the South Ocean, where they still go to worship. Though Hazel won, he was unable to thwart the greater plans of Amariu, which was to preserve the birth of his chosen Messiah moreover, and to unleash the unbridled power of Ixthane of the outer regions, the supreme being of Ryaleo.
Bow to your captain.
Yes, Sovereign!